let's dive straight into Linda's story part 4. Part 3, we stopped the story at the point where Linda was, put on the spot and in the situation where she had to either leave the house or beg her stepfather to let her continue to stay in the house, as she was told by her mother, right? And what happened was that Linda eventually left the house, but not immediately. And before Linda left the house, her life got even more complicated. Now, Linda's mother is trying to have a baby for her husband, for her new husband. But then this baby was not forthcoming. She went to the hospital, ran some tests, and she was told that she had fibroid, right? But, for some reason, or for reasons best known to her, she decided not to believe the doctors. And she went to a church. She went to a pastor instead. And this pastor told Linda's mother that her problem was not fibroid, that her problem was Linda. And for the second time in Linda's life, Linda is again labeled a witch or an obanje. Now, remember, being labeled a witch or being labeled an obanje, the stigma is as heavy as, having HIV back in the days. It follows you everywhere. It wasn't a good thing to be labeled a witch or an obanje. And now, for the second time in Linda's life, another pastor had just labeled Linda an obanje. And guess what? It was Linda's father who believed at first that Linda was an obanje. Now, Linda's mother also believes that Linda is an obanje. She started to neglect Linda. She started not to take care of Linda anymore. Life once again became miserable for Linda. She would want stuff, she wouldn't be able to get them because her mother was no longer, giving her the attention Linda deserved from her mother at that age. Now, Linda was asleep one day and she had a dream. And in that dream, she saw her mother give birth to a baby boy. Linda was so excited. She ran out to tell her mom of this wonderful dream, because to her, she felt like this dream meant there was hope. Linda at some point even got desperate and wanted her mother to have a baby, so she could prove that she was not what she was labeled, you understand? So she rushed out to break this news to her mommy. Her mom was sitting outside the house with her stepfather. As soon as Linda came out, Linda said, "Mommy, I had a dream. And in the dream, you gave birth to a bouncing baby boy." Now, guess what? Linda's father said something that would shock both Linda and Linda's mother. Linda's father said, "Yes, you really did give birth to a baby boy." Shocking, right? Linda looked at her mother and her mother looked at her, because they know Linda's mother is not pregnant and Linda's mother did not give birth to any baby. So why did Linda's father say, "Yes, you really did give birth to a baby boy"? Now, guess what? This same morning, Linda and her mother learned that a woman outside just gave birth to a bouncing baby boy for Linda's stepfather. Oh my God, can this story get any more worse, right? So, Linda's mother was so unhappy with this news. Guess who was happy? Linda, because Linda felt like maybe this would be enough reason for my mother to finally leave this man who has constantly abused me, right? But then, it wasn't enough reason. She stayed back. Fast forward to, 3 months, 4 months, it was time for this baby to be dedicated in the church. Guess who decided to attend this baby's naming ceremony? Linda, of course. She decided she was going to go because she didn't have anything against the other woman, and that she even wanted her mom to, get upset, and she just wanted anything that would trigger her mother to leave the marriage, right? So when Linda got there, the woman who had this baby for her stepfather kept staring at Linda. And after some time, this woman approached Linda and asked Linda, "Who is your father?" And Linda told this lady, "This is who my father is. This is my father's name. This is where my father lives," and all of that. And to Linda's greatest surprise, this woman said, "I am your father's sister." It's getting interesting, right? Linda, once again, she was so excited. You know why she was excited? She felt like, yes, this is going to be the main reason why my mother would finally leave this marriage. She rushed home. She told her mother, "Mommy, look, the lady who gave birth for your husband is your ex-husband's sister." But guess what? Instead of this to, be the reason why Linda's mother would leave the marriage, Linda's mother became even more desperate and vowed that she was going to have her own child. Whichever way that was going to happen, she was going to have her own child. Linda, once again, very disappointed, like, there is nothing that will make my mother leave this marriage, continued with her life. So fast forward to, Linda is growing. Linda is, doing well in her education. She's progressing from one class to the other. Fast forward to when it was time for Linda to write her senior school exam known as WAEC, the West African Examination Council, if I am right. When it was time for Linda to write that exam, Linda's mother did not have the money to pay for this exam because Linda's mother, in her quest to have a child, had been spending all of her money from one church to the other, from one pastor to the other. She was looking for solutions to, having a baby everywhere but the hospital. So she did not have the money to give to Linda to pay for her exams. And now, Linda, as a young girl, she met this man, she met this guy who lives in the same neighborhood as she does. They talk, once in a while, and Linda had to go to this guy to tell him, "I really need to pay for my exams. My mom, she does not have the money to pay for my exams. I'm confused. I don't know what to do." As luck would have it, this guy offered to pay for Linda's exams, but it came with a price. He took advantage of Linda without her consent, meaning that he forcefully had his way with Linda. And this is where I am going to end Linda's story, part 4. I will come back with part 5, okay? But I want to ask you, who do you think has played the most, with Linda's life at this point? Do you think it's Linda's mother, Linda's father, Linda's stepmother, or Nigerian pastors? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next episode of Linda's True Life Story. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you.